Hi, baby. Oh, okay. So everything went according to plan with Creed. Before we could even finish his program, we got him adopted. So we are on to our next dog. This is Reese. Okay. So we're going to focus on leash pressure. So as you see, she gets to the end of the leash. I apply that pressure. As soon as she gives in, I release that pressure. That is escape training. She feels that pressure, and then I teach her how to escape it by showing her that if she gives in to the pressure, that pressure goes away, rather than her pulling and driving further into it. As dog owners, oftentimes we mistakenly teach our dogs the opposite of what we are trying to show them when it comes to the language of this leash pressure. So the one thing that you need to make sure that you are not doing is when she's applying pressure, you don't give in. Good. Because if she's focusing on something and she's actively pulling towards it and we give in and let her go to that, what we are teaching her is if you pull hard enough towards what you're focusing on, you will get your way and you will go that way. So in turn, instead of teaching her to give into this leash pressure, we mistakenly teach them to pull. Notice, I haven't given her a treat this entire time. The reward itself is the removal of leash pressure. Good job. Okay, let's go. Good job, babe. So you notice as I apply this pressure, as soon as she gives it even a little bit like that, I give slack back. That shows her when she feels this, good, to give in rather than engage her opposition reflex and pull the opposite direction. Oppositional reflex would be like if I was to walk up to you and just shove you, you're not going to just let yourself tumble backwards and crack your head on the ground. You're going to oppose it by leaning forward into it. That is oppositional reflex. When you pull on a dog upwards, they pull down. When you pull downward, they pull up. That is their oppositional reflex. What we're doing with leash pressure is teaching them to give into it and not actually engage their oppositional reflex. Good girl. Good. And you can see through this session, she's already getting a little bit better. Now I'm going to start paying her a little bit more. The reason that I wasn't paying her from the very beginning was so that way she wouldn't figure out a game of bouncing to the end of the leash, coming back from the leash pressure, and getting a treat. What you'll discover if you do that is that your dog will get savvy to the game. They'll bounce to the end of the leash and come right back to you immediately, kind of like you're a treat dispenser. They're putting a quarter in, looking for their gumball. Good girl. Oh, yeah. Good. Good job. Good job, Reese. Yeah. Good job. Good. Some dogs are not going to be this receptive or this responsive to the leash. Good job. And you might have to use a prong for this. And that's okay. The prong might look like a medieval torture device, but I promise you, if it's used correctly and you are actually taught properly how to use it, it can be your best friend with your dog. The way I look at it is kind of like adding power steering to your car. When you're trying to drive a car without power steering, it's a chore. It is difficult. But when you install the power steering, all of a sudden, everything gets a lot easier. Good. Good job. So eventually the goal is, and it's not necessarily going to happen with this session because this leash is not really that aversive for her. A prong would be much more quick and effective. Good job, babe. To get her to pay attention to where I'm at all times. Because right now, you can see she's going to the end of the leash and not really keeping checked in with me. She's responding to the pressure accordingly, but she's not paying attention to me. So at this point, now that I see she understands what we're doing with the leash pressure, I'm going to stop applying the pressure, and it's just going to be pops now. Little pops. As soon as she starts getting to the end of that line, I'm going to meet her with slight pops just to show her, hey, you're a little bit too far. Kind of like little bursts of pressure. They're a little bit more annoying. Good girl. Yeah, go ahead. Thanks for the heads up. Good girl. Good job, Gracie. Good job, Reese's. Good job. Good girl. Oh, baby. She can hear the cleaning device on the other side of that wall, which is heavily distracting. So this engagement is actually very impressive. Good. All right, we're going to call this session there. This is her first training session ever. So 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes is more than enough. Her brain is starting to get tired. I do not want her to get too tired. I want her to go out of this training session thinking about how fun it was, all the food she got, what she did to earn that food, and I want her to look forward to this next one before she gets too satiated. Good job, Reese. Say hi. Oh, she's such a good girl. She is up for adoption. I don't think she's going to last long, so if you find this girl to be a cutie, I would get her. Oh, we're excited. Boing, boing, boing. All right, so with this session, I am going to show her that not only do I want her to respond to this leash pressure as such, good. I want her to pay attention to where I am at all times. When she's not in a command such as the heel command, she has free reign of this 6-foot leash. As long as she's not at the end tugging, okay, this is fine. So with all that being said, we are going to play the attention game. So what we're going to do is we are going to walk back and forth. As she gets distracted and starts going a different direction than me, I'm going to cut the opposite direction and see if she pays attention to where I'm going. If she is, she will turn and notice me going the opposite direction and follow suit before I apply a correction. If she does not look at me before I get towards the end of the leash, I'm going to apply a fair but firm correction, and I'll bubble up to show her, hey, you're not in trouble. I'm going this way. I just need you to pay attention. Okay? So, bubbling up will help her understand that she's not in trouble. We're not upset with her. There's no need to shut down. So, with the attention game back and forth, where you going? We're going this way. Boop. What are we doing? What are we doing? Bubble up a little bit. Give her another try. Good job. That time, she turned with me, so she's going to get paid. Good job. So she started to turn with me, but the distraction proved a little bit too strong and she didn't commit to the whole turn. Good job, baby. So as you saw, right over there is our kitchen area, and she smells all the kibble that falls under the table. That's a big distraction going that way. She started to go that way and she turned with me, so I made it a big payday. I just gave her probably triple the amount of pieces of kibble I normally would have been. So I dropped that piece, but she needs to understand. Right here. See? Good job. So that's a heavy distraction right now. Good job. That's going to be another jackpot because that's a big one. So I'm going to show her that I'm going to give it to her anyway. So there's no need to start searching the floor for treats. I don't want to create a reward history on the floor. So she starts floor surfing, checks out with me, starts looking on the floor for treats because maybe I'm increasing the criteria for that training session. She's getting bored. I haven't gotten a treat in 2 minutes. I wonder if there's any on the floor. I found a bunch here. I'm going to check. We want to avoid that mentality from this dog. Great job, Reese. And she did very good. This is her second training session ever. We're probably at the 10-minute mark, maybe a little bit more. That's long for her. So she did very, very good. I can see she's starting to get mentally tired. And I'm going to stop before she checks out on me. All right, so I'm going to grab a big dog. He's well over 100 pounds. I'm going to do the same method with the slip lead. He is here because he pulls nonstop. He is an actual client. He's not a rescue. He is here today because he needs help with his pulling. He is massive. He is way too big to be pulling his owner around. She's a small woman, and she's gotten injured multiple times because of him. as well as other people that he pulls her towards and then jumps on. So we need to work on this. It's a risk for everybody around, including himself. So we're going to use the slip rope, okay? We're going to see if that is enough for Zeus. If not, we will upgrade him to a prong to give us a little bit more control. Like I said, power steering, you're gonna see this. I mean, he's pretty much the size of a car. So we'll see how it works. I'm gonna go grab him right now. All right, as you can see, big boy. Good, Bubba. Good job. You're a friggin' freight train, man. I don't want him to get too worked up, because if he goes to the end of this leash, I don't care how planted I am, I'm going with him. I would call him harmless with his temperament, but his body says otherwise. Good. Just from his excitability, he's a risk. Good. So you can see I'm applying the pressure. Oh, good. Good job. That was close. He almost took me down. I'm applying the pressure, and I'm releasing as soon as he gives me even a little bit. That right there. You see how little bit of a response that was? He turned his head to the right and kind of leaned back. That is giving him the pressure. So I'm going to give him the slack and remove that pressure, because that's going to give him the clear understanding of what the language of leash pressure really means. We want it to be fair and very easy for him to understand. So when he gives in, I release. Good, Bubs. Yeah, first payment. Okay, so now he's going to pay more attention to me, most likely, because now he's like, oh crap, I can earn food. He could easily take me down. So I can only imagine how difficult this has been for his owner, and really everybody else that handles him, because this is by no means easy for me either. This is one of those ones where I'm sure you notice I'm talking a lot less this lesson, because I need to pay attention. This dog could potentially injure me just from launching to the end of the leash, so I really need to focus on this. Good. Look at that. Good. Now he does have some prior training. It's all about like his prior training is a lot of reward history from the understanding that I got talking to their parents. I did not get the understanding that he's been fully trained. Just that he's got a very solid reward history here. He knows how to earn the treat standing right here, almost like a heel position. So this would actually translate very easily if I wanted to train him how to heel. Good boy. But we have to realize when I bring him to the lobby, that is where he loses his mind the most. Whenever his owner brings him here, he gets the most excited. He comes here because there's a dog park next door. We do grooming, we do daycare. So he comes here quite often. Ooh. So he's very used to reacting here. So we will be setting up the camera up front and showing him that these rules apply up there as well. As you see, I have to give him those pops. If he doesn't really want to respond, he doesn't care about this pressure. He has developed a resistance for this pressure because his owners have allowed him to lean into it. Allowed might be the wrong word. They've been fighting for their lives, okay? So when they are required to hold this dog back non-stop, we are teaching him to become resistant to this leash pressure. So I need to teach him how to respond appropriately. He doesn't necessarily enjoy the leash pressure, but he truly does not mind it. And that's very obvious to me. Good job, pal. Maybe if I play a little bit of an attention game with him, yeah, that doesn't bother him at all. This dog, he would definitely be better off on a prong, but we're just starting. So I'm giving him a chance. This way. Good job, Bubba. What are we doing? What do we do? Oh, easy. Even that little bit just got this man psyched. So that really shows me I need to keep my energy real low. I don't want to get him worked up. I want him to enjoy the training. But if I do that with him where I get bubbly like I did with Reese earlier, that's obviously not going to be good for him because he's just too big to get excited like that. Good. So you saw that he turned last second. He turned his head before I popped, so I aborted that pop. And if you're doing this with your dog, it's only fair that if he looks before you pop, that you do not apply that pop, because he did what was right. He was paying attention. Good job, Bubs. Good job. Easy, easy. Oh, yeah. So I'm not going to engage in any of this because this dog would take me out. All right. Enough. Enough. I made an executive decision to make sure that he was not going to take me out right there because he was getting worked up, and I know what he does when he does that. The next move was going to be jumping on me. Even though he was playing and not being aggressive, that would most likely injure me. Easy. Good. Good. Easy. So we're just going to stand here for a second and let him calm down. This is a really good dog to have on camera. I'm glad we have this opportunity because it gives you an idea of the things you can run into in a training session. He's not aggressive by any means, but holy Lord, do you have to watch yourself while working with this dog, because he could completely inadvertently hurt you, not on purpose, completely by mistake. Easy. Good. He noticed before I popped. I'm going to pay him for that. And I'm going to start paying him only right here to really encourage this position. Where are you going? So I have the rest of these treats in a bag on the table. And I'm using that as a distractor. You can see that he pulls that way. Good. Good job. I'm also going to start reshaping his reward history to where he heels with his head slightly behind my leg. He likes to lead his mom. And when a dog leads, they respond to the things in the environment. The lead dog in the pack is the one that reacts. So we need him to understand that he's not in charge and that we are going to start reshaping to be slightly behind, so that way his owner can now be the one who dictates the walks, who chooses which way they're going to go without her getting dragged behind him. We're going to encourage him to take his mom's lead. Good. So I'm going to put him back here, start reshaping this. Good. 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 Good job. Free. Good job, pal. You know, and I don't want to just be a treat dispenser, right? I want to be a little bit lively for him. So I need to find a nice happy medium to where I'm not getting him so jacked up to where he's going to jump on me, but also to where he's not getting bored and checking out on me. Good boy. Good. So that time he looked at the treat bag. He looked at the treat bag on the table. He looked for a couple seconds, and then he's like, oh, wait a minute. I know what we're doing right now. Further back. Good. I'm just going to keep doing this for a little while. This is going to be the rest of the session. Throw in a couple right-hand turns. Pew! Oh, hello, buddy. Good job. Throw in a couple right-hand turns. Good. Okay. All right, so we're going to call this session. That was very good. I'm going to put him up, and then from here, we are going to give him a little bit of a break. Then I'm going to take him into a little bit of a different environment, so that way he has to generalize the behavior. Good boy, Bob. Good. Easy. He's responsive to social corrections as well, so that's really helpful. I didn't train him that. He just seems to be aware. He seems to have that down already. Good boy. Okay, let's go. Okay. His behavior is already different from the last session, so you can tell he's picking up on it. No. No. Good. He likes to pull through doors as well. He anticipates the door opening, him running through. You know, a lot of dogs do that. Good. So I'm going to help them eliminate that problem as well while he's here. Just because I move towards an opening doesn't mean he has to, right? Okay. Good. So I use okay instead of free when it comes to more of a social or positioning. Free is just to release from an obedience command. He was not in a command there. I was just expecting him to be socially appropriate with me. So I use okay in those situations. I'm gonna let him sniff around, let him get that out of his system first. Otherwise, we're gonna be playing tug of war with this leash a lot more than we would have to. So I want him to get that out of his system just so we can line him up for better success. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna walk around a little bit. Stop giving him the chance. Looks like this might be a little bit too easy. Here we go. Good. Good job, pal. See where he falls. Right to where I was showing him earlier. Look at that. This dog is so smart. That's wild. He's no longer pushing in front of me. He's keeping his head slightly behind me. I haven't given him any corrections. This is very surprising, to be honest with you. That must have been a harder one to chew. He took a second to chew that. Good boy. He didn't like that piece, huh? Back here. Good. Good. Give this piece another try. I feel like he's just being picky. Okay. So it looks like the treats are not going to be that valuable right now because he is more interested in his environment. So, good. We're just going to use pressure. The release of pressure will be his reward. Hey, 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 hey. Good job. He knows her, right? She's one of the bathers. She has bathed him many times. Good, there we go. So as you can see, these distractions are much more intense for him. Takes a lot more of those pops. Good, Bubba. Good job. Let's go. Now he is getting a little bit bored with me because I haven't been playing with him or anything. So I might have to bubble up to keep him occupied here. Now he requires a lot more pops than normal. There's a new environment, a lot more distractions. It's a lot more intense. You can hear all these dogs barking. But he's paying attention to where I'm at right now, as you can see. So he's doing everything he's supposed to. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Easy, easy. Good. Good job. Yeah, look at that. I want to get him to the point where I can bubble up and play. I want to be able to bubble up and play with him without him getting too crazy. I want to teach him what's appropriate. Oh, good boy. Yeah. Good job. Whew. Let's walk. Good. Good. See that? He made that turn with me. I'm going to call this session. I'll put him up. We'll go from here. Next session will be in the parking lot where his mom always parks and he gets excited to come into the building. So we obviously have to be careful right now. We are in a parking lot, so we need to make sure that we're being extra cautious. Good. Haha. Good job, Bubba. Good job. All right. So we're going to keep going. Good. You can see how much more he checks out on me out here rather than the easier areas, low intensity. He doesn't associate those other areas. Good. With the fun of coming to this location. So this parking lot inside in the lobby, this is where he is the most reactive and where he pulls the most, where he is the biggest risk. So this is what we've been working up to all day. And this is what we're going to hold him accountable for. Good job, Bub. So he's starting to get his act together. We'll start walking towards the door. As soon as he starts going ahead. Nope. Try it again. Good. He looked directly at me instead of Teresa over here. You're a star, Teresa. You're a star. All right. So we'll do a little bit of thresholds as well. Good. Because with this area, he's super excited to get inside. So this is where we're going to hold him accountable for thresholds still. No. I'm not even going to apply pressure. I'm just going to let him see that the door shuts whenever he goes. Move. Good. I'm going to give him a little bit more space from the door, make it a little bit easier for him. Good. Oh, yeah. He's probably not even going to take this treat. I don't know if he'll finish that. Good. He cares more about getting inside than he does the treat, but very good. No. Good. Good. No. Good. Good. Okay. Come on in, Teresa. Good job. So we got one more threshold, and we have another dog in there. So what we might do, we're going to wait for them to back up a little bit because Zeus is going to want to pull towards them. Further back. Okay. No. Move. Good. Good. Okay. Good. He's a monster. Yeah, he's a very good boy. He's just so strong. Good. So the same rules apply as everywhere else. Right now, this is obviously the hardest spot for him to respond to this pressure. So we're going to give him the pops. And we're going to be real gentle with him too, because we're not trying to punish him. We're just trying to remind him how he's supposed to behave in this room. Good. Good job. So now we go back into the same types of sessions we were doing in the less intense, less favorable environments. Good boy. Good job. Good job, pal. Let's go. Move. Back. Good. Good. Good job, pal. All right. We're going to walk him all the way to the back. Hold him accountable at every single door. Good. Wrong spot, pal. How about that? Is that easier? Good job. Okay. Come on through, Teresa. Good job. You can come on through. Yeah. Let's go. You know what? Let's make it less intense for him. That room's going to be crazy. And he doesn't go in there very often. I love how he's letting me lead. He's starting to pick up on all this. Good job, pal. And I like how he's starting to take the treats. It's showing me that he's starting to get more used to his environment. It's starting to get less intense. And he's starting to get less uncomfortable. No. So right there, I could see he remembered the rule, but he does not ever go out this door. So it's very interesting to him. And the fact that he's maintaining this much control is very, very impressive. Let's go, pal. Good boy. Good. Good. This is a good training opportunity right now. We'll walk this fence line. Good. Right there. So he did not take the treat. He's not upset, but this is very, very distracting. You can see the difference that an environment can make. Okay. I'll wait for you. And you'll see he gets to the end of the leash. Good. Same rules apply. He walked into the pressure. It gives in. Good job. He knows what he's doing now. I'm not even going to attempt to pay him anymore just because he's not very interested in it. The reward system will be the escaping from pressure. And you can see he's letting me lead now. It did not take much for him to understand that. I'm very impressed with this dog. Good boy. Good boy. Good. First try, pal. You want that? Please. Good job. Okay. Good. Over here. Good job, bub.